Hi dears, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me Anna with you here, and today we are on our lovely Albier beach here in our small little town near Benidorm. And from here we will be talking about all the latest news, the restrictions and the changes that are coming up in Spain and especially in our Valencian region. So to start about the situation, I want to say that we don't really have the exact numbers. You know that on Monday we usually receive the data for the weekend, but we receive it later on in the evening. So for now we don't have it, but I was checking the separate data of all the autonomic regions, and what I've checked and what I've seen is basically that in some of the areas the cases are slightly starting to grow, but it's nothing too concerning, I would say, because the overall picture is still quite positive and we still expect the index to decrease and continue decreasing these days. What I want to say about the night lockdown, night curfew and things like this, I know a lot of you guys were asking me in the comments of what's going to be happening, if there still be night lockdown, if there still be limitation for 10 people and etc. So there are already some news, although it's not 100% confirmed, but it's almost there. So in our Valencian region, the president of our region, Chimo Puig, has already pre-approved the pack of the measures that they will make in our area. And one of the things that are inside of this pack, like the desescalate pack, that will continue for one entire month up until October, and if nothing bad will happen, this is when we will start the new normality here in the region. What they've basically decided is about the night lockdown and curfew. You know that to be able to put the night curfew on some specific areas, you need to ask for the approval of the Supreme Court. So what happened this time is that Valencian community has not asked for any kind of approval for the Supreme Court. And today at 12 at night, on midnight, the night curfew officially ends, which means basically that 90%, maybe even 95% probability that night curfew will be over today, and it's not gonna be continuing anymore in none of the regions here in Valencian community, which is amazing news because it means that a lot more people will be able to go out after 1 a.m. at night because, I mean, here it's still very hot, still very warm, and a lot of people are working as well. So once they get out of work and once it's not as hot anymore, people just want to go out and have a nice time. And they could not do that before due to this lockdown in a lot of areas. All the main cities, biggest cities, towns, Benidorm, like Albier, Alicante, Valencia, Castellón, and etc. All of them, they've had their lockdowns. So the most probable is that tomorrow it's not going to be the case anymore. The other thing that will change probably starting from tomorrow, 7th of September, is that there might not be any kind of limitation for the groups of people. Right now, by law, it's forbidden to gather together more than 10 people if they are not from the same family unit. And probably this one is going to disappear as well, but we don't know if it's going to be happening this week or maybe the following weeks. Also today in the evening they will give us a lot more measures, which I will tell you in our next update on the news and the situation on Wednesday. But basically they say that they want to expand the working hours, the opening hours of bars, restaurants. They are planning to open the nightlife once again, but as I've told you already, we do not know the exact date because it's something that will depend on the situation, on how everything will evolve and if cases will continue to decrease or not. So we still have a long road to go, but at least our region has already decided that they don't need any more measures here, and even vice versa, they want to take out, to eliminate few of these measures, which is just amazing news for us. In general, I want to say that right now already the school year is starting. Here in our region, it starts on the 8th of September, which is going to be in 2 days. But in some other regions, they've started even earlier, already from today. And it's a lot more calm, it's a lot more quiet here in the area, since it's a very touristic zone where we live. You all know that, of course. So you can already see that a lot of people went back to their houses, went back from this area, and it's very, very quiet. There are some people here at the beach area, but they basically are like every few meters. Like it has absolutely nothing to do with the capacity and with the amount of people that we've seen the previous days in Benidorm or here in Albier. So yes, the tourism has decreased slightly, but still there will be local tourism, national tourism, and tourists that don't have any kind of children or can travel. They still will be coming right now, because for a lot of people it was slightly too warm in summer, sometimes for us as well. So people just are coming September, October, November, when it's just perfect weather to have a nice time here in Spain. The other news that I wanted to let you know about is what's happening with the home delivery companies. You know, I've told you once, probably a few months ago, that we had a huge issue with the delivery companies here. This is so-called rider law. That's been up since this spring, more or less, and all the companies like Just Eat, like Deliveroo, Glovo, and etc. They're very, very famous here in Spain because they make deliveries not only of food but also of groceries, like pharmacies, etc. Anything that you need, they will deliver it to your house. So these companies, they've had a huge issue in terms of contracts and in terms of workers, because all the workers, they had to be autonomous, like self-employed. And for some people it was very, very good, because they were deciding how many hours to work and how much volume to have of all this work. But from then, a lot of people started to say that they are not protected by like anything at all from the unemployment. Like if their contract ends, that's basically it. They don't have any rights for social security, like payments, unemployment payments, nothing at all, because they were like autonomous. Right now this law has changed, and all the companies need, like all the delivery companies, they need to make contracts. It's obligatory to make a contract for your worker. So a lot of the companies are not very happy about it, and they basically said that some of them, like Glovo and Deliveroo, they were even questioning if it's worth to work in Spain, or maybe they should be changing a country, because it's not as rentable anymore, not profitable anymore as it was in previous days, in previous like years, when it all was working perfectly fine for them, of course, but not for the people who were working for them. So right now with this new law, there were some protests going on, especially of the workers of Glovo. Just Eat, the company, it's a huge company. It's in a lot of countries right now, and it's very popular. So they are the only ones that decided to make like a special committee that would, like special company syndicate that would protect the rights of their workers. They were the first ones who are making it right. And if you check out there in the world, you will see that their workers, they're not protesting. Only workers of Deliveroo and Glovo here, of these both companies, they are massively protesting on the streets, and they ask for normal rights. They ask not to pay for a fuel, because they are working for a company, so a company should provide them a fuel, logically, right? But it was not the case. The person, even though they started to have a legal contract for the company, so like I am a worker of this company, not a self-employed person anymore. So even then, they had to use their own vehicles or their own like mode of transport, and they had to pay for the fuel by themselves, which is just not profitable anymore. And also, company has decreased the working hours, they've decreased the wages. So basically, people that used to earn like 1,200 euros a month, they are now part-time, and they earn like 500, 600. So for the same volume of work, more or less. So it doesn't make any sense for a lot of people. This is why they are basically protesting. We'll see what's going to be happening. And also a lot of restaurants don't want to work with these companies anymore, because the commission that they pay to this company is very high. Before, when a lot of people were at home, you know, we could not go to the restaurants. So home delivery was the only way of us getting the food that we like and enjoy for some special occasions, or just to treat ourselves on the weekend. But then when all the restaurants started to open back again, when the new normality kind of came to Spain, it's not as useful for the restaurants anymore, and the online, like the delivery to your house, decreased a lot because people go out more. That's just a logical thing, right? So the restaurants, they are still it's like a must. They need to pay by contract the commission of 40% of every home delivery that they do with these companies to that company, which is not profitable. It's not good. It's not something that restaurants like. So they are kind of thinking of making their own home deliveries, like a lot of like pizza places do, and even sushi, kebab places, etc. They all have their own home delivery in the area. So they're planning to do this because working with these companies, it's just not profitable anymore. We'll see what's going to be happening. Hopefully the government and the new law that they're making will protect the workers at least. At least that would be good already. So these are basically all the news. Want to say that still we are recovering. The country is in a recovery, very good one. I just hope that it will stay that way, that companies will continue to work, that the tourism will not stop, and it kind of feels like it will not, because we won't have any more restrictions. The country and the government, finally, I think they understood that there's no point in doing what they were doing because people are massively vaccinated right now, and vaccination is continuing. They need to open the borders. They need to take out the limitations that they've had. At least the bars and restaurants are open right now, which is already a good news, and they're not thinking of closing. So we're closer and closer to recover our lives back, and it's very good for the economy of our region and in general economy for all the country. The more people will return to their jobs, the more people will start earning, the better will be the average situation. So I hope it will stay that way. What about the weather today here in Spain? Well, the weather is very nice right now. It's actually not as warm. The sun, of course, it's heating. It is heating up the air slowly, but so far here right now, early morning, like 10:30, more or less, it's still okay to be here outside even without a sun hat or glasses. So it's a positive thing. This kind of weather will be here in our region for almost the entire week, but it's not going to be happening in all Spain. As you can see on this map, there will be some clouds, some separate areas, and there might be some rain on the north part of Spain in Catalonia. And during all this week, the rain will keep coming from west towards the east side, like northwest towards northeast side, and all like the upper part of Spain will be covered in clouds, and there might be some rain every now and then. But here in our region, at least, and South Spain, we probably will avoid that from happening, at least for now. The temperatures are slightly higher than they were previous days because it's sunny. Sun is still very hot, very warm, so it's heating up the air quite a lot. And in a lot of areas we will reach 30 degrees, and in south part of Spain even 38 maximum temperatures today. This is why they are in a yellow alert, especially in Sevilla. Today in Alicante, they meteorologists, scientists, and me say that it's going to be approximately 30 degrees. In Benidorm, it's going to be also 30, 31, maybe slightly more due to humidity. The real feel will be slightly more. In Barcelona will be 29, in Granada 38, in Sevilla same 38 degrees, in Malaga and Marbella 30, in Madrid 34, Murcia 34 degrees once again, in Balearic Islands 30, Canarian Islands 27 to 30 degrees, and in Valencia 30 once again. So basically the average temperature is this, around 30 degrees Celsius. And these temperatures will be the same during all this week here in our region and south part of Spain, basically, but on the north they will decrease once it will start to rain. The water temperature is still amazing. I did the video the other day for my other channel. By the way, my Russian channel, it's not a Russian channel anymore. I've changed it to 100% Spanish. So those of you who want to learn Spanish or who want to practice, I know these people do exist on my channel. You can go there. There is a link on my channel here in channels list. There's a link to this. It's called Diario España con Ana. And there I've showed 3 types of beach areas here, Altea, Albir and Benidorm. And I've talked a lot about the water temperature, what it is these days, the like the beach itself, and if the water is clean or not, if it's dangerous or not, if there are any jellyfish. So if you want to know slightly more about the beach area here, go and check it out because I think you'll definitely love it. There are also English subtitles, so you can turn them on as well. And if you like, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to that channel as well. These were all the news for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching them. I wish you a lovely and light beginning of a new work week, positive Monday, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video here on the channel. Bye.